Pam couldn't figure out why her book was not selling on Amazon, like almost no sales at all. And she had done everything, right? Well, maybe not. And that's one of the reasons why in today's video, we are going to talk about do this and you will never write a book that busts. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. The thing is, Pam was a college student living in Maryland, and she had a very deep interest and a passion for writing about cooking, because that's something she had been doing since she was a little girl. And she'd done a lot of writing and come up with a number of recipes that she wanted to share with the world. And so she put together a cookbook. And that was what she decided to do. She was doing a vegan cookbook since she was so excited about the whole vegan lifestyle and all of that. And so by putting a cookbook, she could help even more people discover the recipes that she had come up with over the years. And she had a lot to share with the world. What she was hoping for was that by getting these books onto the market, she could start seeing a passive income coming in. As a college student, she really wasn't making that much money, and she had heard about people who could put books onto Amazon and start seeing a whole lot of sales coming through on these particular books they were doing. And she also had a number of books that she wanted to get on the market. She was thinking, I could write several cookbooks addressing different things like desserts and main meals within the whole vegan lifestyle and that aspect of it. And maybe even expand from the cookbooks to even going further to other areas as well. But the problem is that she simply wasn't seeing the sales that she was hoping to see on her cookbooks, on her first book that she actually got onto the market. And so she was hoping to get multiple of them going, but she wasn't really going to be doing this if she didn't see sales at all, because after all, maybe the market was telling her they just didn't want what exactly she was offering. And she began to doubt if maybe even this whole passive income idea of putting books on the market that will sell while you sleep and then you're making money from them and you can use them to put your next books on the market, whether or not this was even something that even was true, or whether it's just a myth that nobody's able to really do this and that just people talk about it. But in practice, it's simply not something that can be done. So what happened was she thought, I know, let's see if we can fix the books that people want to buy it. So the first thing she did was taking it through multiple rounds of editing, because she figured the reason people don't want the book is because maybe there's some editing issues that could be fixed, in terms of some of the basic formatting or other things like that. Now, the thing she wasn't considering, of course, was the fact that you have to buy the book to even interact with the formatting. The way we see we have a formatting mistake is when people buy the book, they leave 1-star reviews and say the formatting or the spelling and these things were off. But she wasn't making those sales, but she thought that maybe if the book was edited better, just a few more rounds of editing, and then this thing would be ready to hit the market. But it had no impact. She made these she spent money on editing, and it actually had no impact at all. The second thing she decided to do then was maybe if she had better images in the book, then people would buy it. Putting really fancy colored, highly colored, detailed, high HD images into the book, this would possibly result in the sales she was looking for. So she took pictures of the food and made it even fancier than it was before, but this had no impact at all. Again, we're dealing with the inside of the book. It had no impact, and that was incredibly demotivating for her. So the thing is, she had heard and watched a couple of the videos that I put out where I was addressing a lot of these issues and the frustrations that a lot of people and new writers experience when trying to get your books to sell. So she decided, okay, I will book a free discovery session. And so the thing with me, and so what happened was we sat down in a Zoom session. We were able to look at exactly where she was at, what her motivations and the goals that she was looking at achieving, and we immediately noticed a huge issue, and this one stood out, and it's by far the most important thing of anything you're going to do with your books. I talk with all of my clients about this one issue because it is so important if you want to see your book sell. And the answer is it's your title and subtitle are incredibly important. Unless, of course, you're a famous person already. Well, then they don't matter at all. Then your name matters more, right? You're marketing across who you are already. If you're a celebrity or micro-celebrity out there, an influencer, right? And then it doesn't matter as much. It still matters because that gives us the ability to find cold traffic. Audiences who've never even heard of us, how are they going to find us if they've never heard of us? And the answer is they're going to find you because they're searching for you on Google and on Amazon and on these other sites. Or, for example, in her case, they type in the word vegan and they don't come up with her book. Now, why don't they come up with her book? Well, I can tell you exactly why they don't come up with her book. It's because she doesn't include the word vegan on the title. She came up with something like, green foods, healthy, no animals, or something like that. But the fact is that what we discovered was we used a tool that I like, KD Spy. You can find my affiliate link below in the description for keywords for the book titles. as we were going through this particular tool and we were using it on her book, we found that the keywords that she was targeting on her clever title, she felt it was clever. I mean, I thought they were clever titles. They just have nobody searching, and they're none of the keywords people would look for. But when we used Katie Spy, we were able to find all of the related keywords to the whole vegan entire grouping. We could see other books that she was competing against and see exactly which titles they were using, because Katie Spy gives you the ability to create a word cloud of the things that people are looking for, and then we're able to go from there to using some of those keywords that they're using, and then also using the top keywords for the entire for the title itself, and then putting these things together, we're able to come up with a title and subtitle that exactly tells our audience what we're going to do. So if it's a vegan cookbook, you need to make sure that it has in the subtitle the word vegan cookbook in there. And if it's about desserts or salad recipes, or maybe it's the main meals or whatever it might be, a Thanksgiving, the vegan's way, this is a vegan cookbook for Thanksgiving or something like that. So you're exactly specifying what it is. So when the person searches, it'll come up. And secondly, when they look at your amazing cover, which happens to match the others, that's the second most important thing, the other bestsellers in your niche, we're going to make sure that it doesn't look too different than what they're doing. Because obviously, if people are spending money on these books, if your book looks similar to them, then we're going to drive that exact same traffic and get those conversions against your book, just like they're making sales against their book with thousands of copies a month. Our goal is not to completely dominate a market. It's simply to jump into a market where there's already a lot of sales going on and take a small, tiny piece of that pie. That's it. Just a teeny sliver is usually enough to make us quite happy with the end results that we're going to get out of this entire process. So that's the second thing, right? But the key is the first thing is the title and subtitle. It's the absolute top priority unless you're a micro influencer or a celebrity of some sort where they know you. And that's what I use. I use the Katie Spy as my absolute top way. And then there's two things we use with the competitor keywords that they're using, and then also looking at the top search items. And you can do that easily enough in Amazon if you even type in vegan and space and then type A, and it'll pull up all the things people are searching for in A, and then B, and then C, and then D. You can also do the same thing in Google to find out what exactly it is people want. Our goal is not to try to guess what people want, but to give them what they want. And what people are searching for is a great way to tell us what exactly they want. Now, when they get into your cookbook and stuff, you can give them what they need. And this is an important thing to remember with sales in general. It is that people sometimes don't know what they need. So you tell them what they want, they get it, and you deliver on that, and then you give them what they need in addition, some of the background information and a lot of these other things that they're going to need. And that was something that was very important for Pam to do as well with her book. And in the end, she felt very positive about this. She felt she had a little bit better of a direction after the free discovery session, which you also can book. Just go ahead and click the link below to book a free discovery session. We can take a quick look at your situation as well. So she finally did purchase Katie Spy. She wasn't sure. She was a little bit skeptical. Maybe this isn't going to work so well. And what happened was she changed her title and she changed her subtitle, and she was looking at the top search key terms and things like that. But what happened was after about a week, the book started to sell. It was amazing. It was like, but the book's contents weren't any different really. I mean, she hadn't really done that much with that. That made no difference at all. She hadn't changed really much of anything else. The description looked pretty good, and the cover was still the same cover, but just by changing the subtitle in particular, that subtitle, she was able to start seeing people who were searching coming through to purchase her particular book. And the next stop on her little journey is going to be ads. But in terms of the most important thing in getting these sales, it was the title and the subtitle. And one of the things also when we're getting going with this whole self-publishing thing, and I was commenting to her as well, is building habits into what we're doing. And that plays such a pivotal role. And that's one of the reasons I want you to check out 3 60-second habits for a best-selling book right up above me here. And I will see you over there. Thanks.